Ambassador Zektharian's crystalline appendages trembled as he reviewed the diplomatic protocols for the third time. The Galactic Confederation's most seasoned negotiator, he had brokered peace between 17 warring species, but this assignment felt different. Humans were peculiar. The conference chamber aboard the neutral station Harmony's Edge was meticulously prepared according to standard diplomatic procedures. Soft lighting, temperature-controlled atmosphere, and translation matrices humming quietly in the background. Everything designed to facilitate peaceful discourse between civilized species. Zektharian's task seemed straightforward: convince the humans to cease their aggressive expansion into Confederation space. The newcomers had somehow developed faster-than-light travel despite having only recently discovered fire by galactic standards. Their rapid technological advancement violated every known pattern of species development. The human delegation arrived precisely on time, which surprised the ambassador. Most primitive species struggled with punctuality. The lead negotiator, a middle-aged woman named Sarah Chen, entered with a warm smile that made Zektharian's scales itch with unease. Her companion, General Marcus Webb, maintained the same unsettling expression. "Ambassador Zektharian," Chen said, extending her hand in the bizarre human greeting ritual. "Thank you for arranging this meeting. We're excited to discuss our future together." Excited? About territorial disputes. Zektharian's research had failed to adequately explain human emotional responses. "The Galactic Confederation welcomes dialogue," Zektharian replied through his translator. "However, your species' expansion must cease immediately. You have violated the territorial boundaries of 3 member civilizations." Chen's smile never wavered. "Oh, we're aware of the misunderstandings. But see, we've brought some visual aids to help explain our perspective." General Webb activated, a holographic display showing a 3-dimensional map of local space. Red dots marked human settlements, blue indicated Confederation territories. The overlap was extensive. "Now," Chen continued cheerfully, "we understand your concerns about our rapid growth. But humans have this quirky little trait: we don't really do stopping very well." Zektharian's primary eyes focused on the display while his secondary pair studied the humans' facial expressions. Their smiles remained constant, but something in their posture suggested predators discussing prey. "Perhaps," the ambassador ventured, "we could establish clearly defined boundaries. The Confederation is willing to allocate suitable uninhabited systems for human colonization." Webb leaned forward, his grin widening impossibly. "That's generous, truly. But here's the thing about humans. We have this concept called manifest destiny. It's served us well throughout our history." The holographic display shifted, showing Earth's surface. Images flashed across the projection, great cities rising. From ash, massive ships crossing vast oceans, flags planted on lifeless moons. "You see," Chen explained, her tone remaining conversational, "humans have spent our entire existence expanding, conquering, and adapting. Ice ages, plagues, wars, extinction events, we've survived them all. And every challenge just made us stronger." Zektharian felt a chill that had nothing to do with the chamber's temperature. Surely rational beings can reach an accommodation that benefits all parties. "Oh, absolutely." Chen's enthusiasm seemed genuine. "We're very reasonable. That's why we brought our proposal." Webb touched the display controls. The hologram now showed a massive structure orbiting a star, sleek, angular, bristling with what could only be weapons. "This is the Prometheus," Webb said proudly. "Humanity's first true warship, Took us 18 months to build after we got serious about this whole space exploration thing. It's beautiful, isn't it? Chen added. 30 kilometers long, equipped with fusion torpedoes, particle beam arrays, and our personal favorite, enhanced nuclear warheads. We call them peacemakers. The ambassador's translator struggled with the apparent contradiction. Peace makers? Well, they certainly end conflicts quickly, Webb chuckled. See, humans discovered something fascinating about nuclear fission a few centuries ago. Turns out splitting atoms releases tremendous energy. We used it to end a global war, then spent the next several decades pointing these weapons at each other. Chen nodded enthusiastically. It was terrifying and wonderful. Nothing brings humans together like mutually assured destruction. Really taught us the value of diplomacy. The hologram shifted again, showing dozens of identical warships emerging from what appeared to be automated construction facilities. We've been busy, Chen continued. The Confederation's 3-month ultimatum gave us plenty of time to prepare. Currently, we have 47 Prometheus-class vessels operational, with 12 more launching weekly. Zektharian's diplomatic training had not prepared him for negotiations conducted while staring at weapons of mass destruction. Surely you don't intend to use such extreme measures? Oh, heavens, no. Chen looked genuinely horrified. We're not monsters, Ambassador. These are purely defensive measures. Defensive? Webb's smile turned predatory. Absolutely. You see, humans have this peculiar definition of defensive action. If we perceive a threat to our our legitimate territorial interests, we defend ourselves by removing that threat entirely. We're quite thorough about it, Chen added helpfully. Human military doctrine has this lovely principle: overwhelming force applied with surgical precision. Why have a fair fight when you can have a decisive victory? The holographic display now showed tactical simulations, human fleets engaging, Confederation vessels in mock battles. The results were one-sided. Of course, Chen continued, we'd much prefer peaceful coexistence. Humans are naturally social creatures. We love making friends, sharing technology, exchanging cultural experiences. After we've established proper territorial boundaries, Webb clarified. On our terms. Zektharian processed this information with growing horror. The humans weren't negotiating. They were delivering an ultimatum wrapped in diplomatic courtesy. Ambassador, Chen said, leaning forward with that perpetual smile, humans spent millennia fighting each other before we realized cooperation was more efficient. We learned to channel our aggressive tendencies into productive endeavors, like exploration, colonization, and the occasional defensive campaign. The beautiful thing about humans, Webb added, is our capacity for both creation and destruction. We can build magnificent cities or reduce planets to radioactive glass. The odd choice usually depends on how cooperative our neighbors feel. The hologram now displayed a peaceful scene. Human colonies thriving alongside alien settlements, trade routes connecting different worlds, children of various species playing together. This is what we want, Chen said softly. Peace, prosperity, mutual benefit. All we ask is that the Confederation recognizes our right to exist and expand as any other intelligent species. And if we refuse, Zektharian asked, though he suspected he already knew the answer. Both humans smiled wider. Well, Chen said, humans have this saying, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. We prefer honey, Ambassador, but we're Remarkably good with vinegar, too. The final holographic image showed the Prometheus fleet in formation, weapons powered, ready for deployment. Zektharian realized he was witnessing something unprecedented, a species that had weaponized pleasantness. They delivered threats with genuine warmth, discussed annihilation with cheerful enthusiasm, and made extinction sound like a reasonable policy option. "I'll need to consult with the Confederation Council," he said finally. "Of course." Chen stood, extending her hand again. "Take all the time you need. Though I should mention, our expansion schedule is quite aggressive. We'd hate for any misunderstandings to develop while we're waiting for your decision." As the human delegation departed, still smiling, still radiating terrifying friendliness, Zektharian began composing his report to the council. Subject: immediate territorial concessions recommended for species designation, human. The alternatives, he realized, were genuinely unthinkable.